Well, Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse beautifully and accurately broke down what the whole playbook is right now from the Republican Party. Explained exactly why the word woke is being used so much and exactly how that word is being utilized. Take a look at this. Great job from Senator Sheldon Whitehouse.
They're relying on a new magic budget word. That word is woke. The House Budget Chairman says his budget will be modeled after a draft budget put together by Trump's budget director, Russ Vought, which uses the phrase woke 77 times. I think the previous record for the use of the term woke in budgets is 0 always. Call everything woke and then try to cut its funding seems to be the strategy. Housing, woke, chop it in half. Public schools and job training, woke, slash it. Auditing tax cheats, woke, let's not do that. Fighting climate change, woke, none of that. Healthy food for kids and families, woke, cut it. Medicaid, health insurance, heating assistance, cut, cut, cut. From behind this new catchphrase, Republicans want workers and families to line up behind the tax cheaters, behind the polluters, behind the campaign donors, behind the well-connected and the well-off whom they serve. Well, their problem is you can say woke for a while, but then people will notice that they no longer have disability benefits, or that they can't afford their prescription drugs, or that huge corporations are paying nothing in taxes. The woke screen is a smoke screen, and people need to see through it.
Say that again, Sheldon?
The woke screen is a smoke screen, and Americans need to see through it to what Republicans are really trying to do.
Did you just come up with
that? So, yes. One of the things the Democratic Party is not always the best at is messaging, but that's how you do it. Because what's going on right now is the Republican Party just doesn't have popular policies. That's the reality. And if you don't have popular policies, how do you win? How do you get positions of power? You get, and you put forward messaging, political messaging that is effective. And that's what they're doing here. Unfortunately, it is effective in some of these election situations. And so they've decided this word woke is going to be the way for however long that they do that they distract from their policies that aren't popular because they do disproportionately help those at the very top. They're constantly standing in the way of good, popular, effective, beneficial actions. And they want to do things that would hurt the working American. Cutting all these programs that are so necessary to the lives and livelihood of people. Many Republicans want to cut those. They stand in the way of actions such as the Biden administration, Democrats trying to lower prescription drug costs. They stand against action like that. They stand against the expansion of health insurance coverage for people. They are actively trying to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act that has done so many incredible things for working Americans and for the future of energy, and on we go. And so if you're really wanting to do all of that, trying to do all of that from a policy perspective, it has to be about something else woke. That's what they're going to focus on instead. So how do I know that they're not identifying a real problem? Because some people I know who are even left of center are really concerned with woke. And they don't like the GOP, but also this woke thing is actually a big problem. Why don't you talk about it that much? And I've gone through this before, but I'll do it again. I think that I know that in the world we're in now, social media can make things look and make things seem like problems when they actually aren't, and make views seem more prominent than they actually are, and people seem more popular than they actually are in the views that those people espouse. And so the few examples that will be provided to me of someone who identifies as on the left and is just saying some wacky stuff, which there's plenty of examples of, to be clear. Absolutely. Plenty of liberals that are bonkers. But, including myself, we're all a little bonkers now. But why is that not something that's a focus of mine? Because social media is based around engagement. So if something's more engaging, more provocative, it'll get a lot of attention. So then it'll seem like views are very popular because they're very provocative. But then how do we know? How do we know we're not just doing that with right-wingers too? And then we're both just thinking the other side is something that they're not at all. And that's when you look at power structures. So how do these views manifest themselves within power structures, within who has positions of power? And that's where you get your answer. Show me a Democrat that, for example, I recently saw someone say the left wants to tear down statues of Abraham Lincoln. Show me a Democratic politician who's saying that. I heard Don Jr. recently say the left wants to transition 3-year-olds. Show me a Democratic politician who said that or alluded to that at all. Whereas when I talk about Republicans, who am I primarily talking about? Individuals with positions of power or who demand massive movements that affect clearly and presently positions of power. So Marjorie Greene, a congresswoman. Trump, president, not anymore, demanding a massive movement, could be president once again. And then you go down the list and you start noticing, oh, clearly the views that I find so dangerous about Marjorie Greene, for example, the reason I brought her up is she's on my screen for our next story, is they are popular enough, those views are popular enough and are prevalent enough. And this is enough of a problem that she can become a congresswoman. And that, I think, when you're talking about politics, you should look at political structures and who is represented in those structures to get a sense of where the country actually stands. Not just what's trending on Twitter, annoying people on Twitter or annoying people on TikTok, because you're not going to have an attached to reality understanding of the prevalence of different problems or different views, unless you have obviously polling on it, which we see 60% of Republicans think the election was stolen, or you look at who is getting into positions of power. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get the full bonus show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley. Link in the description.